Welcome to Southern River Sports. I'm your host, Terry Erickson. Each week, an inside look into sports, into wellness, into fitness, and introduce you to some celebrities throughout the greater La Crosse area. Hey, today, special show because the spotlight is on Onalaska Girls Basketball, one of the best programs in the state of Wisconsin by far. Our guest today, Shane Schmeling, along with Jalyn Dobbins, Emma Gamoke. Welcome to the show, girls.
Thank you.
Coach. Well, off to a 7-1 start. I've been following you, by the way, Coach. Only lost to Chippewa back on November 21st. You had a great weekend. You beat Central convincingly, and then you traveled up to Oak Cliff Memorial. Good program up there. You won there. Wow. Is that what you expected?
Yeah, it was a good weekend. We intentionally scheduled the games this way to get ready for regionals, so we would have to play back-to-back. As a lot of basketball fans know, you play Friday night and Saturday night come tournament time, so we intentionally scheduled it this way. We also have a DeForest and Sparta doubleheader night or back-to-back nights in February to help us prepare for the tournament as well. So,
I did an interview on ESPN recently, and my first comment was Onalaska made a great hire. Here's why they did. They made a great hire because they hired somebody that has an impressive resume, won a state championship in Bangor, I think 1997, coached boys, coached girls, played at Holman, watched him play, refereed some of his games. He probably wants to forget that, worked some of his games, and no reflection on previous coaches. However, you are bringing a different culture, different mindset, different approach. You're bringing a culture that's different about selflessness. You're bringing a culture about we rather than me. I applaud you. And tell us a little bit about that culture.
well, first of all, thanks for the kind words, Terry. We the program, myself and the girls, appreciate it. Yeah, I've been an observer the last 4 or 5 years of the program because I had kids come through the program, and we certainly had a lot of talent, and this is not a knock on any coaches or any previous players, but I felt like there may have been some occasional selfishness once in a while, not together. You could just see it on the floor. And that was the approach we took coming into the season. Was we really wanted, that's our catchphrase, we before me. We took the approach that no one is going to outwork us. We may get beat on a particular night if we don't play well, but no one will outwork us. Our practices have been far more intense. I've had literally every player, every coach that's involved in the program say the practices are just different than they were a year ago. We're trying to get the kids to where the games are the easy part. And just that in general, the kids have caught on tremendously fast to it. I wasn't sure how long it would take, and I give them a lot of credit because I know my style, my intensity, my expectations are maybe a little higher than what they're used to, and they've just done a fantastic job.
Your style is my style. Your style is accountability, making them work, and so on. Well, again, Shane Schmeling, along with Jalyn Dobbins and Emma Gamoke in the second half of the show. Two other players from Onalaska. Jalyn, followed you since you've been younger. You're averaging 6 points a game. Student of the month, academic all-conference. Have you played up to your expectations during your career and so far this year?
I think during my career, I wasn't really expecting something great from me because I've always been a team player. So individually, I think just how I play is how I play. I just care about team and winning as a team, not just stats for myself. This year, I've kind of had a little up and downs recovering from an injury this summer, but so far I think I've been doing well, and I know the team's been doing well.
And I don't know you very well, but I know what you said about yourself being a team player, and that is a tremendous type of characteristic, no question about it. Well, next to me, Emma Gamoke, know her mom and dad real well, know her whole family. Open up the paper one day, it's like, Cooley Region Volleyball Player of the Year. Whoa, congratulations.
Thank you.
Was that expected?
I don't know. I guess we have great players, volleyball players all over the La Crosse area, and so I guess I wasn't expecting it originally, just losing a lot of seniors our last year playing volleyball, but this upcoming year, I guess our team stepped up and I had a good season, so.
You did, and academic all-conference, student first, athlete second, averaging 13 points a game. Somebody said you can shoot a little bit from the outside. I'm not so sure, but we'll see on Friday night. Just kidding, because I know you are a good outside shooter. Of course, so was I, but that was before the three-point line. But your thoughts on so far here early in the season after 8 games?
I think, like Shane said earlier, I think the culture just has changed. Just the mindset that I think our whole team has is 100% different than how it was in the years past. I mean, being a senior, I can see the changes that have been made just in this short season compared to the other ones that we've had. I mean, all of them have been memorable, but I think just as a team, it's very different. And
all of us have had role models of people that have inspired us. I know this is going to be a big week. We're going to talk about that, but on Friday night, when you're at home in big game, one of your role models inspired you, I'm sure, is a girls' assistant basketball coach, Gary Johnson. Is that going to be emotional for you on Friday night?
It'll be a neat experience. I played basketball for Gary for 3 years in high school and coached under him in the boys program for a few years after I got done playing in college, and to see the time and the commitment he's made over 50 years of coaching, I just can't imagine. Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun.
Jalyn, too, as we kind of go through rapid-fire drill here, as we want to get as many things as we can to learn about our guests, because the second half of the show, 2 additional players. But Jalyn, knowing your dad, knowing your mom, knowing your family, who's really inspired you the most?
I'd probably say my dad, because he's always hardworking. He's always had my back during any problem I've had. He's been my #1 basketball teacher, supporter, fan. So I just kind of fall back on him for a lot of things.
And you have support from a lot of different people in your family. You've had a lot of success. One of the defining moments in your career, I believe, was when you were a sophomore.
Yeah, when we went to state. That was a really awesome experience, and I'll have it with me for the rest of my life.
Well, one of your other role models is a guy by the name of Albert Einstein. You ever heard of him?
Yeah.
He made a pretty provocative comment when he said, be a voice, not an echo. Mm-hmm. When I saw your profile, I thought, that reminds me of Albert Einstein. Tell us about why that quote means a lot to you.
I think it just kind of falls back on the same quote, be a leader, not a follower. So I've just kind of always had that leadership type of mindset and kind of do things kind of on my own terms and just kind of be different from everyone else.
One of my favorite writers and broadcasters is a guy by the name of Jay Billis. You may have never heard of him, but he wrote a book on mental toughness, something I know, Shane, you are trying to create. Mental tough, not physical toughness, because I know girls are tough anyway, but mental toughness. You made a comment on your profile, this is really profound, that one of your disappointments is you were never taught the mental side of competition, the toughness, the perseverance, overcoming obstacles. We before me, the mental aspect. Why did you say that?
I just think throughout my career, I've had a lot of ups and downs. It can be just super simple, as in having a bad shooting night, losing a game for any sport that I've played. And I think one of the biggest things that can bring a team success is their mindset. And I've always thought that that's kind of been underestimated. So when Coach came in and said, we before me, it's kind of, I really believe in that, and I think that if you have a good mindset, that it'll bring you success. So
the mental is to the physical as 4 is to 1. You know what that means? Simply means 4 times more important than the physical, from the neck up. That's how I judge athletes. Body language on the court, how they handle officials. Yeah, how they handle officials. And how they handle their coach and so on, how they handle the opposition, how they handle setbacks, how they handle bad passes. Do they self-destruct? That's how you judge an athlete. And Coach Schmeling knows that.
For sure. I mean, not everything's always going to go right. And as much as we want to win games, I'm a big believer, too, that we're teaching these kids life skills. And obviously, they're going to have setbacks at different points in their lives, whether it's in school or college or in their jobs or as a mom or a wife someday. And it's how you respond to those situations. We've all had bad moments in our lives, and you got to pick yourself up off the ground and bounce back.
We talked about your defining moment, Jalyn, and you, as a senior, you're a leader. Now, you're on a platform. Whether you like it, whether you know it, you're on a huge platform. Senior, academically solid, athletically, people look up to you and so on. You're a leader, and if you don't want to be a leader, then don't be an athlete. Do you agree?
I do.
And how about being your leadership? You have an interesting thought on leadership.
Yeah, so I don't really see myself as high up, kind of bossing people around like some leaders I've had in the past. but I just think being there for people, supporting people, like just and all in all, just like being their rock kind of, and just helping them out in different ways is like true leadership.
Do you like the world we live in?
I think so.
Because you said if your philosophy is to try to make the world a little bit more caring, a little bit more not so self-centered.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely think there's a lot of people who just care about me before we, in many aspects of life, just like selfish.
Quick fast forward, college, career.
So undecided.
Still undecided, not sure.
Looking at different options.
Maybe Division I basketball somewhere? Or?
No, I don't think so.
You might want to run for a political office, or maybe be, you have a lot of substance to you, so you take that substance to a higher level. And every day is a gift, appreciated. Who said that? You did.
Yeah. My mom has always said that to me. It's been one of her big inspirational things that she's always said to me, and it's inspired me, so.
You comfortable in your own skin?
Yeah.
A lot of people aren't. They look to be something they're not, and so on, and that's kind of a disappointing thing. But fast forward your life. You have 5 months left, and all of a sudden it's graduation day. Mm-hmm. The next chapter. It went by like a New York minute, didn't it?
Yes.
Okay, let's take us through. You're graduating, college, career, so on.
I guess, obviously, graduating from Onalaska, and then I'm not sure what I want to do as far as college. I know I want to play a sport. I'm not sure if it'll be volleyball and basketball, if it'll be just basketball. I haven't decided yet, so.
Last quick question. What do you want people, before we go to break, what do you want people to think about 5, 10, 20 years from now about you in 1 or 2 words as an Onalaska high school athlete?
I would have to say probably making an impact.
In a positive way. Mm-hmm. And when they say, hey, I remember Jalyn Dobbins, what do you want them to say?
A player who helped change the culture.
Oh, whoa. And Coach Schmeling is shaking his head for both those answers.
Great answers.
Great answers. Speaking of answers, we got to answer the call to take a break for our sponsors. So we're going to do that. We're going to come back with 2 additional Hilltopper girls basketball players right after this.
No matter where you are, it's easy to find Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning.
Schneider Heating, Lacrosse.
Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning. Here you are.
Right now, get over $1,700 in rebates and utility credits with your new Carrier Infinity Heating and Cooling System.
Call or visit us online to ask more about our Gold Star maintenance program.
Schneider Heating, West Salem.
Schneider Heating around West Salem. Here you go.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning.
Welcome back to 7 River Sports. Well, 2 new guests on the set. Coach Schmeling again. I'm here again, but Lexi and Kenzi Miller. Welcome to the show, girls.
Thanks.
Coach, if you were going to describe our 2 guests, twins, by the way, what would you say about them?
Very driven, have big expectations for what they want to accomplish and what they want the team to accomplish, and very competitive. These 2 bring it every night at practice. I know this might shock people, but we match them up against each other in a lot of drills, and neither one of them wants to see the other get the upper hand, and they really get after each other, which sets the tone for the whole practice.
Speaking of practice, players just come up to me once in a while, come to my office and say, hey, Terry, how come, you've seen games, how come I don't play much? My first question would be, well, how do you practice? I mean, do a little bit of an inventory yourself. Are you a practice player, or do you just like to play on Friday nights in front of 1,000 people? Now, you and I are old school. We believe in players like apparently you have here, Lexi and Kenzi, who pay the price in practice. And that's your philosophy, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. As I said earlier, the game should be the easy part, and if you set the tone and you practice hard and give full effort, that's really the only way you improve, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Any half-speed repetition really does more harm than good.
Token effort doesn't get you anywhere in life, period. But, well, Lexi, now, you got to listen to some of this about the twins here. Academically, that's your gift. Athletically too, but academically, National Academy of Future Scientists and Technologists. I don't think I got that when I was in school. That award for excellence, and of course MVC all conference. Now, those are all conference academic. Those are lofty things because you are a great student, Lexi, aren't you?
I think so. I try to be.
And has it come easy for you?
Not terribly difficult, but not quite easy. I mean, I work very hard for the grades I get, so.
I bet you do. But in case you missed, Lexi, but wait a minute, we got to get to Kenzi here because National Academy, here's her honors, because besides all conference academic in the MVC, National Academy of Future Physicians and Medical Scientists Awards of Excellence. Took me a while to practice saying that, by the way. In case you're wondering, I didn't get that either.
No.
but you sure did because you are a leader in terms of your academic skills. Yes. It come easy for you?
Not exactly. I mean, some people like to ask me, well, how do you get grades like this? It must come so easy to you. But I don't think they realize how much work goes into it outside of school and at home, like all the studying that I do. So no, it definitely doesn't come easy, but it's always worth it.
It is. And of course, Coach Schmeling, you teach a lot about leadership, quality people, and I noticed on the profiles both peer ministers at their church, and that to me is a powerful thing to be involved in. How did you get involved in that?
Well, I know some friends who've been in it, and they just tell me about how much fun it is, how many new relationships you make, and I thought, well, maybe I could get into that. Something to do. Takes up some time. I can make some new relationships.
Lexi, what is a peer minister?
Basically on Wednesday nights we go in a small group with a bunch of people from our church who have gotten confirmed in the last 2 years, I think. And we have leaders and we talk about life and what's going on and how we can relate it to God and our faith and stuff. So.
You talk about life lessons?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What kind of life lessons do you get from the basketball court?
Probably a lot about hard work and just I know Shane's really big on just doing every drill the best you can because you're not going to get any better if you don't. If you don't go 100% all the time, you're never going to get any better. So.
Good basketball programs, good any sport, teach life lessons as important as developing a skill set. What life lessons have you learned as a sophomore?
It's mostly, for me, just kind of the mindset thing, like Shane said. I mean, last year I was a freshman, so I obviously didn't see the court a lot. It was hard going to practice and not getting rewarded so much in games. And I think it's just taught me that if you keep working and if you keep your head up and keep going with it, you'll eventually see results. As in, this year, I'm getting more play time. I'm making more relationships with my teammates. It's a mindset thing that you got to just keep going, and you'll get through it.
One thing I've noticed, Coach, throughout the years is some coaches struggle with developing roles for players. And as a result, they perhaps never reach their full potential because they're in a level of uncertainty as to what their role is, what they're supposed to do in terms of position, contributions, so on. And you, I know, explain the roles so the players understand what they're supposed to do. How do you do that?
Well, we talk about how your role literally changes on every play. On one play, you might be a screener, and our expectation is you're the best screener on the team at that point. It might be the offensive play is set up for you to get a shot. Then obviously we want you to shoot the ball well. You might be asked to guard the other team's best player, and you can have a bigger impact on the game by holding that player, holding them down from what they usually get. So we just ask the kids, during the course of a game or a practice, your role changes often, and just do each and every little piece. We talk about the game within the game. Every game there's a down screen that may start an offense, and you can either be inefficient on how you affect that defensively, or you can do it properly. You can win the battle offensively, set a great screen, get the person open. Every one of those little pieces adds up to have an overall effect.
Everyone struggles with this drama. not just girls basketball, and every level of basketball and other sports in the world, there is drama. And I'm sure there's drama in your program occasionally. Or if not, you'll see some. How are you going to handle that?
Thankfully, I have not seen any yet. The kids have done a great job of the we before me. At our parent meeting, I told them my expectation was that the kids are as happy for someone else's success as they are for their own. And so far, they've really bought in. Yes, I'm not naive. There probably will be eventually. And I think as long as we continue to talk about the team aspect, the team goals, we talk once or twice a week about our goals as a team for down the road, I think it takes care of itself.
Absolutely. Everybody's been inspired. We talked to your previous teammates about this, to the two players that were on before, Josh and Emma. So talk about who inspired you when you were young.
I would say my parents, because they both work so hard all the time at whatever it is they're doing at their job, or taking care of my sister and I or the rest of our siblings, or anything that happens in life. They always go at it with the best mindset, and they've always helped me with every problem that I have. I can talk to them about anything, and they've always been accepting of me.
You sound like Jalyn. She said similar, and so people inspired you, family too, parents?
Well, obviously, we have the same parents, so they kind of inspire me the same way. But I'd also say, Lexi, just because she inspires me to try new things. When she does, it's kind of pushes me. She also keeps me kind of competitive, knowing we have little family rivalry. So
no, I think that happens in all families, even the ones that don't have twins. I think that happens. Mm-hmm. But what's something that people that are watching this don't know about you? Is there something special about you that would be intriguing to know?
Well,
something to do with something you like to eat?
Yeah, actually.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't like chocolate.
Oh, you don't at all?
Neither does Lexi.
I don't eat.
Nope.
No.
So for Easter, there's no chocolate.
No.
Anything in your Easter basket?
It's a vanilla bunny.
So you both, philosophically for sophomores, you're deep too. Philosophy of life.
Just to work hard at everything I do, because I know that nothing will come easy, and the things that I do work hard for, they'll always be worth it. Describe
an ideal coach. Who do you like to play for? You've had a lot of coaches when you're young. Don't look to your left at all, but who describe to me the kind of coach you like playing for, that inspires you?
I want a coach that's not going to take the easy way out and is not going to do things just because the players whine or something's not working. I want a coach that's going to be disciplined enough, and even though sometimes it's not fun, conditioning, a coach is going to push us all the time, and if we're not working hard or if we're not doing things right, it's not afraid to yell at us or get on us a little bit, because I know they're just trying to make us better. I think that's really important if we're trying to reach the goals that we want to get to this year.
Goals. You're averaging 12 points a game. You must be pretty satisfied with what you're playing so far. Your role, you understand it. You're a leader only as a sophomore. And Kenzi's averaging 10 points a game. You satisfied with your play so far?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I think that I've stepped up a lot since last year. We lost 4 seniors last year, so I think everybody on the team stepped up. We've seen scoring come from new people this year. Our defense is a whole new culture. I mean, we're playing so much faster. We're getting so many more steals. It's just the culture's a lot different.
Mm-hmm. Well, and you got some big games coming up. You talked about home, and you got GET before Christmas. There's a team called the Aquinas Blue Bulls that might be a challenge for all of you, because they certainly are powerful, and we'll be there for that game too. I believe that's on a Monday night. But I am more anxious to see Friday night's game now than I was before to broadcast it, because knowing the makeup of your team and knowing what you're all about. So again, our guests, Lexi Miller, Kenzi Miller, Jalyn Dobbins, and Emma Gamoke, and my friend Shane Schmeling. So I appreciate being on the show.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
All right, and have a good season too. We'll be back with some closing thoughts right after.
No matter where you are, it's easy to find Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning.
Schneider Heating, La Crosse.
Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning. Here you are.
Right now, get over $1,700 in rebates and utility credits with your new Carrier Infinity heating and cooling system.
Call or visit us online to ask more about our Gold Star maintenance program.
Schneider Heating, West Salem.
Schneider Heating around West Salem. Here you go.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Schneider Heating and Air Conditioning.
Welcome back to Seven Rivers Sports. I hope you enjoyed our interview today. The spotlight on the Onalaska Girls Basketball team under new head coach Shane Schmeling. Well, speaking of Onalaska, our cameras were at the Chuck Deeth Fieldhouse on Tuesday night. The Hilltopper boys versus the West Salem Panthers from the Cooley Conference. Onalaska came out of the blocks with a lethal offense, taking a commanding 41-19 halftime lead. The Hilltoppers went deep into their bench in the second half, still scoring 42 points. 9 Hilltoppers got into the scoring column. Carson Arntz and Tyrell Stutley paced away with 18 points each. Noah Skifton followed with 12 points, while Sam Kick tallied 9. The Panthers were led by Hunter Wakefield with 11 points. Onalaska moves to 2-1 on the season, traveling to Holman for an MVC game on Friday. We'll be courtside to bring you all the action. West Salem falls to 1-3, traveling to Onalaska Luther on Thursday for a Cooley Conference game. Well, I hope you enjoyed this week's show. I'm your host, Terry Erickson, hoping you will have an active and a healthy week ahead.